What if one night, without warning, sirens begin to echo across the Middle East? Within seconds, the sky lights up with streaks of fire as missiles cut through the darkness. Cities fall silent, power grids collapse, and millions of people are left in fear, not knowing what comes next. This is not a scene from a movie. This is a real possibility that experts around the world are seriously discussing right now. The tension between Iran and Israel has been building for years, but recently, it has reached a level that many believe could spiral out of control at any moment. But the real question is, are we actually on the edge of a full-scale war? Because if a direct conflict begins between these two powers, it won't stay limited for long. This region holds some of the most critical routes for global energy, and any disruption here could send shockwaves across the entire world economy. And it doesn't stop there. There are powerful allies, hidden strategies, and advanced weapons on both sides. From missile systems to cyber warfare capabilities, this is not a simple battlefield. This is a complex and unpredictable confrontation. So what would really happen if things escalate? Would it begin with sudden airstrikes? Or a wave of missile attacks that change everything within minutes? And more importantly, who actually holds the advantage when it comes to power, technology, and strategy? In this video, we're going to break it all down step by step. No exaggeration, no fake hype, just real analysis based on facts and possibilities. So make sure you stay till the end, because the truth behind this conflict is far more intense than most people realize. To understand how serious this situation really is, we need to look at what's happening right now. Over the past few years, the tension between Iran and Israel has not been direct, but it has never truly stopped. Instead, it has been playing out in what experts call a shadow war. This includes cyber attacks, intelligence operations, and indirect conflicts through regional groups. Iran has been expanding its influence across the Middle East, building alliances and strengthening its presence in multiple areas. At the same time, Israel has been carrying out precise and highly targeted operations aimed at limiting Iran's military capabilities. Most of these actions don't always make global headlines, but behind the scenes they are shaping a much bigger conflict. Recently, military activity in the region has increased. Surveillance flights, naval movements, and defensive systems have all been stepped up. Both sides are watching each other very closely. And in situations like this, even a small incident can quickly turn into something much bigger. Because when tensions are already high, it doesn't take much to trigger escalation. A single strike, a miscalculation, or even a misunderstanding could push both sides into open confrontation. And once that happens, controlling the situation becomes extremely difficult. That's what makes this moment so critical. Because right now, the conflict is still below the surface. But the question is, how long can it stay that way? Now let's talk about the most important factor in this conflict: military power. Because in any potential war, strength is not just about numbers. It's about technology, strategy, and precision. On one side, Iran has built a powerful and unique military system. Instead of relying only on traditional forces, Iran has focused heavily on missile technology. It possesses thousands of ballistic and cruise missiles capable of reaching targets across the region. In addition to that, Iran has developed advanced drone systems that can carry out long-range strikes. These drones are not only effective, but also difficult to detect and intercept. This gives Iran an advantage in asymmetric warfare. On the other side, Israel operates one of the most advanced and technologically superior militaries in the world. Its air force is considered among the best globally, with highly trained pilots and cutting-edge aircraft. Israel also has one of the most sophisticated missile defense systems ever developed. Systems like Iron Dome are designed to intercept incoming rockets and missiles in real time. But that's not all. Israel's intelligence network is extremely powerful. It has the ability to detect threats early and respond with precision strikes. So this creates a very interesting balance. Iran has strength in numbers, missiles, and regional reach, while Israel has technological superiority, intelligence, and precision attack capability. And this is exactly why, if a war begins, it won't be simple. It will be fast, complex, and extremely unpredictable. So what would actually happen if this conflict suddenly turns into a full-scale war? It most likely wouldn't start slowly. It would begin fast, and with overwhelming force. In the very first hours, Iran could launch a large wave of missile and drone attacks targeting key military bases, airfields, and strategic locations. The goal would be simple: to create shock, confusion, and immediate pressure. At the same time, cyber attacks could begin in the background, targeting communication systems, power infrastructure, and defense networks. This would make coordination much more difficult. But the response would come quickly. Israel would activate its air defense systems and begin intercepting incoming threats. Within minutes, fighter jets could be deployed to strike back. These counterstrikes would likely target missile launch sites, command centers, and critical military infrastructure. And once both sides begin exchanging strikes, the situation can escalate rapidly, because neither side would want to fall behind. Airspace would become extremely dangerous. Naval forces could move into position, and the entire region could shift into a high-alert war zone. But the most dangerous part is this: once a conflict reaches this level, it becomes very difficult to control. Every action leads to a reaction, and every reaction pushes the situation further. What starts as a limited exchange can quickly turn into something much bigger. And that's exactly what the world fears the most. If a full-scale war breaks out between Iran and Israel, the consequences would not stay limited to just one region. This conflict has the potential to spread far beyond the Middle East, because both sides are not alone. Global powers are closely connected to this situation. The United States has long supported Israel and maintains a strong military presence in the region. If the situation escalates, there is a real possibility that the United States could become directly involved. At the same time, other regional countries may also be pulled into the conflict, either directly or indirectly. And this is where the risk becomes global. One of the biggest immediate impacts would be on energy markets. The Middle East controls a significant portion of the world's oil supply. Any disruption here could send oil prices soaring, affecting economies across the world. Global trade routes could be affected. Financial markets could react with instability, and millions of people could feel the consequences even far away from the battlefield. But beyond economics, the human cost would be far greater. Cities, infrastructure, and civilian lives could all be at risk. And once a conflict reaches that level, there are no easy solutions. That is why, despite rising tensions, both sides still try to avoid direct war. Because they understand one critical reality: once a war like this begins, it may not be easy to stop, and the outcome may not have any real winner.